Full-time RV living was the best 3 years of our life.
Amazing.
But there's a mistake that we made, that we all made when we were on the road. So in this video, we're gonna share with you what we wish someone had told us before we hit the road RVing.
It would have changed everything and we would have saved a ton of money. Welcome back to the RV Odd Couple. My name is John.
And I'm Mercedes, and we
found freedom, independence, and adventure. RVing full-time around the country. Got 20,000 miles on it.
I forgot.
You forgot what you were supposed to say.
I forgot. I'm sorry, my bad. But now we're building a community that believes in God, family, country.
God, family, and country, guys. And in this video, we wanted to jump back. As you all know, we've been a little bit wandering off, watching the country fall apart and everything else. And we've been getting into different videos that Mercedes feels a little bit uncomfortable with. So in this video, we're going back to RVing. I'm going to try to keep my mouth shut, back to our roots. And we want to share with you one of the biggest mistakes we made full-time RVing. As you guys know, we were out on the road for 3 years, seeking freedom, independence, and adventure.
It was amazing.
We found it. It was amazing. We traveled all over the country. We went around the country 2 times, saw some of the most beautiful places in America, and America is absolutely beautiful.
So here's a couple of things that you should know about when you're full-time RVing, right? Because most RVers are weekend warriors. They go for shorter trips. When you're camping for 2 to 3 days, you have a different mindset. You have a vacation mindset. You're gonna have a fire every night. You're gonna cook on the grill every day. It's very different. When you're full-time RVing, you're not on vacation mode anymore.
Your home is where you park it.
Suddenly things like laundry, grocery shopping, and those types of errands, they take up more and more of your time. You kind of have to eat a little healthier generally.
Yeah, and Walmarts aren't everywhere. Guys, we stayed in a campground out in California where it was an hour and 15-minute ride just to get groceries, just to get milk and bread. And so you just never know. And it's fun, it's exciting. But after a little bit of time, I'd say about the first 6 months, it was all exciting. The adventure, going out, going to new places. But it did start to wear off. And when you're pulling a 42-foot rig around with a toddler and a dog every couple of weeks, it starts to wear on you.
It does. And so because of the wear and tear of the monotony of life, when you're traveling in the RV and moving from spot to spot, it's actual work.
It is.
Right? Yeah, it's fun to explore new places and to see things you've never seen before.
But it's a lot of work.
Well, and let's be real, the day before the trip is kind of a work day.
You're prepping, getting things put away, getting prepped to leave early in the morning because you don't want to drive all day.
And then the day of travel is kind of a work day too.
Well, no. And just driving the rig itself, when you're dragging 65 or 70 feet, there's a lot of stress involved with that as well, especially when you don't know exactly where you're going.
It requires your full attention.
Yep.
Right? This isn't something that you can do while scatterbrained.
Correct.
And then once you arrive at your destination, sometimes you just kind of need a day to settle.
And then the next day you're a little wore out.
Yeah, from the stress of... So things just kind of change. And I think what we're talking about is the pace. You know, you got to pace yourself. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
You're bringing everything you own with you wherever you go, and it's not super easy to move. Of course, depending on how you RV. For us, it was our whole family, a toddler, a dog, and a 42-foot massive machine. That was our home, 2 bedrooms back there. But one of the biggest mistakes we made is we went too fast.
Yeah.
So what we're going to say to you is number one, slow down. You don't have to. And I think every RVer makes this mistake. You're excited, you're ready to go. We spent months sitting at home planning our route and which campground we're gonna stay at all over the country.
We watched YouTube videos so that we would know everything we need to know.
Needed to know.
Because surely I would know everything if I just watched 8 straight hours of YouTube.
What we didn't realize is they always made it look like rainbows and butterflies, and there wasn't they didn't share a lot of the challenge, right? Yeah. And so what we found out in our travels over 3 years is the one thing that we would change from the way we did it is we would slow way down. We wouldn't travel as fast as we did. As a lot of you guys know, we joined 1,000 Trails, and we think it was worth every penny because we used it. 1,000 Trails works great if you use it.
If you're full time.
Our first year, we had our nights down to $10 a night using it. The problem is that you're going to be moving every couple of weeks. And when you have an RV like we did, a 43-footer with a dually, a toddler, and a dog, that's a lot of work moving every 2 weeks. Knowing what we know now, we would have probably gone monthly. So go ahead and see the areas of the country that we wanted to go into, and we would get longer term rental rates from campgrounds. As you guys know, monthly rates are a lot cheaper than the nightly rate, and semi-annual and quarterly rates are even cheaper than that. And one of the biggest questions that we got from the RV Odd Squad, the people that followed us, was what's the perfect amount of time to travel or sit still? And the truth is it depends on the person. Some people who are single, just a couple that have no kids and no dogs, they can do 1 or 2 weeks and then pick up and move. Of course, maybe they have a smaller rig, maybe they don't. That's a lot easier than dragging around a kid and a dog with you every couple of weeks. For us, knowing what we know now, we would go one place each month and really search the area. Because when you're only parking for 1 week or 2 weeks and you're trying to get all these tourist attractions in, guys, that's a lot of work. Just getting a kid ready to take her into the mountains or into a national park or just getting a kid ready, right?
Well, exactly. And think about it. If you're there for 7 days, the first day you arrive, you're kind of getting your energy back. And then the day before you leave, you have to prep. So really, it's like you're there for 5 days. And if you have a full-time job that you work 5 days a week, you see where we're getting at? The time changes. You have to do things completely differently when you're full-time RV.
And it's different for everybody, guys. Some people like moving every week or 2 weeks. For us, it would be probably at this point going back 1 month. We would go 1 month. That way it would allow us plenty of time to get to the new location, to explore all the attractions around that location without burning ourselves out to see all those locations, right? I mean, Yosemite.
All the bucket list locations.
All the bucket list locations. Guys, those take a lot of time to actually explore. Shorter stays will cost you more money. Think about it. When you're moving every week or two, you're spending gas to get to the new location. You're also going to a new area where you don't know where anything is. So there's a little bit of stress in that, right? Especially if you need supplies.
Exactly.
2 weeks, you start to know where stuff is. And then right when you start to know where stuff is, you go. It's time to move on, right, to the next location.
You finally figured out the grocery situation.
Yeah, you finally got it out. You love the area, but you've already got plans, and you got to be at the next location because you scheduled last year to do this. Are you feeling what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But 1 month we found was the sweet spot for us and our family to go to a location, enjoy it, not be rushing around, know where all the local stores are, the local hospitals, everything.
Exactly.
Just in case of an emergency.
It's better to go on an RV trip and stay in one region. Maybe you're staying in the southwest corner of the country, but you really hit everything you want to see there, than to do a trip that's cross country and try to hit 6 destinations and cross 20 states. It's better to do smaller but deeper than to try to hit everything in 1 month.
It's
Does
so
that make
true.
sense?
Yeah, I think we were at 6 months of our RVing experience, full-time RVing.
And I don't know how many states.
And we went through, I don't know how many states and how many
many.
campgrounds we were moving every couple of weeks.
Yep.
By the time we got to Yosemite, we were wiped out.
Yeah.
We were exhausted. We actually did a video on how wiped out we were. But then, God works, right? God slowed us down for 2 months by putting a couple of birds in the back ladder. They wouldn't let us move without a fine and jail time if we didn't let those birds hatch. And boom, we got to experience Yosemite National Park for 2 months, all the way from late winter through the spring into early summer. So guys, when we started out 4 years ago, there was a massive trend of RVing. I mean, everybody wanted to RV. And then when COVID hit, the whole industry exploded. Everybody wanted to RV, and they didn't want to go on planes. They didn't want to, stay in hotels because of just what was going on.
We were afraid of germs.
Everybody was freaked out. So it exploded. What we're starting to notice now is the whole thing is slowing down. People are dumping their RVs. Prices are lower than we've seen them in 4 or 5 years right now. It's actually a good time to consider buying an RV, but don't buy it new. I digress. What was I saying?
I don't know.
So what we see now is a huge trend shift. More people are jumping out. Campgrounds are starting to have a lot more vacancies.
Major pivot, I think, too, because the people that are sticking in the RV lifestyle, they're RVing differently. It's no longer a thing of like, let's hit the Grand Canyon and Key West and let's see Mount Rushmore all in one trip within 1 week. Now it's different. It's a slower pace.
It's so true. We actually met down at Fellowship Hall here at Thunder Canyon Camp Gratitude this morning, and we all kind of went around the room and shared our experience over the past few years. We have a few RVers that jumped in and raced all over the country, right, along with the trend. Guilty, but now what are they doing? We're seeing a lot more people that sold everything, bought an RV, and invested everything into their RV. They like the RV lifestyle, but they don't like to travel like they traveled. Seems to me it starts to burn you out in between 2 and 3 years. That's when you start to get a little tired. We have 3 people here at Thunder Canyon now doing long-term stays. We find it. See, the public calls this Thunder Canyon. People that come here, visit, and fall in love with her, they call her Camp Gratitude. And now we've got multiple families here at Thunder Canyon that came for a couple of weeks, and they've been here for 6 or 7 months. Something special is going here at Thunder Canyon Camp Gratitude, and we love the community that we're building here, guys. So this is our community garden. Long term is pretty much have taken, we've got all this space here. Hopefully it'll continue to open up and open up. Look at all this. We got corn, we got sugar snap peas, we got giant snowflake peas, dwarf gray snap peas.
We got corn.
Oh, we got everything here. Yeah, that corn is probably going to have to be replanted. We'll see. But as you can see, the Thunder Canyon Camp Gratitude Garden is killing it. These are garlic chives down here. And some of this.
We got a fig tree.
We got a fig tree.
Because you need a fig tree.
And there's some spinach. Please do not pick the fruits of our labor. And then over here, this is Catherine's space. So we're trying all types of different, we're kind of being mad scientists and trying all these things that people tell you to do, and we'll let you guys know what works best. Look, we even got an apple tree and a pear tree.
Oh, this is a special tree. Can we show them this tree? Each branch is a different type of pear. Isn't that crazy? So it's one tree, but it's different types, so then you don't get sick of the same kind of pear.
Yeah, but isn't that called some type of gene splicing to do that?
No, they splice the branch.
I don't know how you do that.
They splice the branch and then they mend the branch, not the genes.
I like the way God makes stuff. I don't want people splicing anything.
This is a pretty cool tree. This is pretty cool.
I love it.